Hello, everybody. Welcome to Broadway.com's Live at 5. It's Friday. I just want to say it in a happy voice. It's Friday, November 22nd. I'm Beth Stevens.
I'm Paul Wontorek. It looks like we were sponsored by the upcoming Netflix screening of The Boys in the Band. But we were not.
It's turtleneck season, ladies and gentlemen. We are here in the studio with Caitlin Moynihan.
Hello.
We have a very special guest today, Paul.
Oh, my God. So good.
The super talented Daniel J. Watts is here from Tina, the Tina Turner musical.
I can't believe I saw the same guy play Sammy Davis Jr. and Ike Turner.
In the same year.
In the same year. And so good at both of them. I love him so much.
We will talk to Daniel shortly, but first our top 5.
We are one step closer to an Aida revival actually happening.
There's a lot of clapping.
Was that like those when you tweet and you do the clap in between words?
Yeah!
You were doing
yeah.
You did it. Okay, you just did it. Oh, okay.
Didn't realize.
Yeah, so Aida is Disney. Well, Tom Schumacher first told me about that when he was here for show. People remember?
Inside info.
Yeah, and Shelley Williams is directing it, which is really cool because she's an original cast member and she's fantastic. And now we found out Camille A. Brown has signed on to choreograph.
So you know it'll be good.
So yeah, it just keeps getting more real, and there will be an actual presentation, a lab presentation from March 9th through the 20th. So that just means that they're doing like a workshop or a lab with it. It's not like you can't go to it. You can't go see it unless you have a lot of money to maybe put into it. It features a Tony-winning score by Elton John, a book by Linda Wolverton, Robert Falls, David Henry Hwang, based on the the opera Aida.
Of course we do. Verdi. We got it.
I can't wait to see who will play these roles.
Good question.
I mean, because
So the original cast was pretty
oh
spectacular.
my God, Heather Hadley,
Sharon A. Scott,
Adam Pascal.
I
mean, Shelley Williams.
Right.
Amazing. Anyway, it's going to be good. They're casting it now, and we can't wait to hear more.
London audiences are going to be saying, "Hello, Imelda."
Imelda Staunton is I don't know what to call her. She's a super talent of London, and she is going to take on the role of Dolly Levi in Hello, Dolly in the West End. This is very exciting. She will play a 30-week run at the Adelphi Theater through beginning on August 11th.
So this isn't the Broadway production?
This is not the Jerry Zaks production. This one's directed by Dominic Cook, and Tony nominee Jenna Russell, who also has an Olivier Award, will play, what's the character's name?
Irene Malloy. Ribbons down her back.
Thank you. Now there's more Imelda Staunton news. I feel like we need more Imelda Staunton news because she's going to be in the movie of Folly. She's going to play Sally.
Wait, that's confirmed?
No, it's just an eyeing possibility, but it's out there. And
Beth, are you starting rumors?
I certainly am, because she's also in talks to take over from Olivia Colman as Queen Elizabeth II.
I think that's confirmed.
It's in talks.
I think that's actual. That's like.
Look, she's just a really busy woman, and she's going to be in Hello, Dolly next summer. That's all you need to know.
In more London news, we got a surprising Oedipus casting.
We did.
Sure.
Helen Mirren, speaking of fancy British ladies, and Mark Strong will star in a new adaptation of Oedipus by Robert Ike. Sorry, I didn't look it up. It's a new perspective on the classic work. It'll arrive in the West End in late 2020, and then it might move to Broadway. They're already saying it might come to Broadway.
Well, with this fancy cast.
Sure.
You have to.
And it's a modern adaptation, and apparently it is set on the night of a major election in an unspecified country. So it sounds like maybe they're playing off some of the
Not in Greece anymore.
Politics in the news ever. Helen Mirren, of course, won an Oscar for The Queen. Mark Strong was Interview from the Bridge on Broadway. He was fantastic in that, and that was a Tony-nominated performance. Anyway, that's all we know for now, but just be on the lookout for more on Oedipus.
This off-Broadway show is going to be preserved in a cast recording.
So excited about this. Soft Power, which is by David Henry Hwang and Janine
Who wrote
Tesori,
Aida.
who also worked on Aida many years ago, is going to have a cast album on Ghostlight Records. It will be released in spring of 2020. It recently closed at the Public Theater. Who knows what will happen next with Soft Power?
Well, because there's rumors that maybe it's coming back.
You're just a rumor monger today. My goodness.
But
I don't think Imelda Staunton will be in it, though.
I'm excited for this album because the last song they sang stuck in my head all night. I really enjoyed it. It's very powerful, that show.
It really is. So we'll find out more.
Yes, and we are putting a spotlight on somebody who's making their Broadway debut in Mockingbird.
Yeah, so there's a whole new cast over at To Kill a Mockingbird. Well, not completely new, but a
Almost
lot of
full
new
new.
talents,
Most of them.
including Nick Robinson, who many of you may have fallen in love with when you saw Love, Simon, including apparently Kayla Moynihan,
Yes.
based on
The face she's
making right now.
Love him.
Anyway, he's playing
Great job.
Jem now in Mockingbird, and when he was a kid, he actually did To Kill a Mockingbird with Bart Scher, right, out in
But
Seattle.
not with Aaron Sorkin.
So that's sort of a fun fact, and he talks about in the Fresh Face feature that Ryan Lee Gilbert did, and Caitlin McNaney shot photos of him.
Mm-hmm.
Talked about Love, Simon, talked about his connection to Mockingbird and more, and what it means to be on Broadway. So go check that out. What else is on the site?
Well, Michael Greif, hitmaker Michael Greif, is opening Dear Evan Hansen in London. He talks about bringing the hit across the pond.
Cool.
And next to normal to Washington, D.C. So lots
Oh,
to
that's
talk
in there
about.
too?
That's
Okay.
in there too, yeah.
And then Mariah Rose Faith, who's doing our Mean
the
Girls
meanest girl on the
tour
road.
vlog.
Yeah.
Episode 4?
Episode 4.
Get in, losers.
There you go.
I'm out.
That's the name of it. Paul, have a great weekend.
Thank you, you too.
Caitlin, will you tell us all about our guest, please?
Gladly. Yes, we got Daniel J. Watts with us here in the studio today because he is currently portraying Ike Turner and Tina Colin, the Tina Turner musical on the Broadway. This is his 9th Broadway show and in a very impressive resume, which includes things like Hamilton, In the Heights, The Color Purple. Motown, this guy... he's done it all. He also recently received an LA Stage Alliance Ovation Award nomination for his turn as Sammy Davis Jr. in Lights Out, Nat King Cole. He's been very busy. Make sure you follow him on social media at DWattsWords. Leave all of your questions in the comments below. And everyone, please welcome Daniel and Beth.
Thank you, Caitlin.
What's up?
Hi, Daniel.
How you doing?
I'm so glad you're here.
Me too.
You are phenomenal in Tina
Oh, you're
Colin,
sweet.
the Tina Turner musical.
Colin.
Colon,
Gotta keep
not
the
a hyphen.
colon.
Not a hyphen.
And congratulations on your nomination in
Thank
LA.
you. Thank you very much.
You're just wowing them on both sides of the country.
That sounds crazy, but sure.
Sure. Okay, let's talk about Ike.
Let's.
All right. First of all, this is a phenomenal production.
Thank you.
And you've worked with Adrian Warren before.
I have.
Tell me about way back when.
We worked together in The Wiz at City Center. Me, Adrian, and Don Lewis as well, the three of us. So it's like a family reunion happening.
That must have been crazy to come back together and reunite this way.
Yeah, well, me and
In
Adrian.
very different roles.
Sure, absolutely. Me and Adrian have been like maintain. That's like one of my besties. You know,
Oh, really?
I went to
Okay.
go see her in London. You know, we've stayed in touch over the years. So it's more of like we trust each other. You know, which is very important when you doing a Tina and Ike reenactment.
Yeah, let's talk about that. So now Ike Turner has been vilified a lot.
Sure.
They had obviously a very troubled relationship. That's one way to describe it. And do you get booed at the curtain call
I've
sometimes?
heard that I've been booed. I've
Oh.
yet to hear the boos.
Not because you're not doing a great job. Let's be clear. It's because
I get
he's
it.
the villain of the story.
I get it. You know, he's a villain, and he's not like a likable villain. He's not the Ursula. You know, you like Ursula.
He's not a funny
He's not a
villain.
funny villain.
No.
And he's done some pretty horrible things to an actual person who you might actually care about. You know, so
Right.
I understand when people come in, their arms are folded, they're ready not to like this guy. So, you know, my challenge is more so not to make you like him, but maybe just to make you understand him a little more.
Yeah, let's talk about finding the human heart of Ike Turner, because there's no way to play a villain as a villain. You have to
Sure.
sort of find your way in. So tell me what research you did, how you got into this character. a little
Yeah,
bit.
I saw the show in London. I read his autobiography. I went to Clarksdale, Mississippi.
You did.
Went to Clarksdale just to know,
Just
you
to
know,
breathe the air.
just
Feel-
to literally to just breathe the air. Breathe the air. His house is still there, so his
Oh, wow.
childhood home is there. So I saw that. You know, I listened to a lot of the music that he said he loved listening to, just to kind of like ingest what he had going
What
on.
kind of music was that?
He was a huge Louis Jordan fan. So
Oh,
like Five Guys Named Mo, that like which is like one of my favorite shows. You know, I was already in the zeitgeist of it. So yeah, so doing that and then, you know, kind of like investigating his trauma, you know, breaking that down. And I'm in therapy as well, so I talk to my therapist like, hey, Ike Turner went through this stuff. How does that equate?
Right, because
you
if
know.
you have to sort of find where the hurt is to play the pain
Right,
a little
right.
bit.
Well, that's what hurt people, and that's really what
Yeah.
it is. You know, so you know, it's never to excuse his behavior, but just kind of understand what was behind his behavior, and also why Tina would still continue to work with a person who was exhibiting this kind of behavior. You know, and I think a lot of it had to do with the other side, which was the charisma, his musical genius, the idea of what they were making together, which was, you know, they were opening for the Rolling Stones and, you know, touring in Ghana, you know, all these things very far away from Nutbush Tennessee and Clarksdale, where they both came from. So, finding those inner moments that would make someone want to stay longer than they might otherwise in a situation.
You can't just play him as a, violent drug addict.
Well,
That's
this is
no
not
fun.
fun. This is not fun to do. I'm just angry all the time. Just who he's a person who had dreams and aspirations and thoughts and feelings and wishes that just got jumbled up with all of the pain that he never let go of.
Did you go to his house in Mississippi?
I was outside the house. There's a beware of dog sign that I chose to beware of.
Good choice.
Yeah, I was
Possibly
like,
good choice.
I'm gonna take your word for it. So I didn't go in, but I saw it. I went around it.
I love that. All right, let's talk about some other projects you've got going on.
What else you want to talk about?
Well, there's the Under the Radar Festival, and you have The Jam,
The Jam.
which is at Joe's Pub in January.
Yes, it is.
So this is a personal story for you. Tell me about it.
Yeah, The Jam, only child. The Jam is the umbrella term, which is, anytime I start to write or want to share things about myself, it's based on my great-grandmother who made jam from scratch. You can't make it a jar at a time. You have to make it in bulk. So she would make herself a jar and give the rest away. So I've had
Not
all this.
jelly.
Not jelly, because the difference
Jam
between
don't
jam
shake
and
like
jelly.
that. Yeah.
Jam don't shake like that. Jelly is the runoff. It doesn't have the seeds and the flesh and the pulp. Versus jam, which does. And
she'd
jam,
give it away.
She would give it away. She would just share it. She would have her own little jar, and then she wouldn't hoard the rest. So I've had all these things I've been writing, feelings, thoughts that I felt I should share with other people. So over time, they've accumulated to this one version of the show called Only Child, which is about me going to therapy and breaking open the attic, so to speak.
The attic of your mind.
The attic of your mind that you don't visit often, or you just keep storing stuff up there, but you don't really clean out that clutter.
You're processing things.
Processed it, you're right. So you're kind of going through my attic, going with me through my attic.
It's good to have a cleaned out attic if you're going to play Ike Turner.
You must have a cleaned out attic if you're going to play Ike Turner. Absolutely. I know for a fact I wouldn't be able to play this role had I not started therapy.
So what are some of the themes of The Jam Only Child?
The Jam Only Child touches on, I think we're all only children, honestly. We all have our own, even if you have a household with 9 kids, everyone has their own individual perspective of said household experience. And I touch on Bill Cosby and Weinstein, and I equate it to cross-stitching, how there's a Instagram that's called Badass Cross Stitch, and I remember it. I used to cross stitch when I saw her Boys Will Be Boys cross stitch. That was happening at the same time. So I touch on how my mother taught me how to cross stitch, probably as a metaphor to teach me what to do with my hands when I didn't know what to do with my hands. I talk about how, as an American that grew up in the South, that in predominantly white spaces, they contributed to me harboring a certain kind of feeling. Racism is the thing that I have to both acknowledge and also ignore, else it'll leave me immobile. So yeah. I touch on all these things of just a kid who grew up where he grew up, how he grew up, single parents, only children, latchkey kids. We talk about all that kind of stuff.
All that stuff, my goodness. And yet you were a performer from an early age. You
Yeah.
just put on a hat and started dancing.
Who told you that?
I heard that somewhere. Do some research.
This is true. Apparently my aunt and uncles at my great grandmother's house had hats on, and I kept swapping their hats off and like pretending to be different people. And my mom was kind of like, what's that? She didn't know what to do with it, but she clocked it. And then a few years later, she suggested I audition for a play, and I was like, I'm gonna be a basketball player.
Of course you were.
I auditioned for that play and was bitten. That was a wrap.
What was the play?
It's called Second City. It was a local.
okay.
It was a local play about this city inside of Charlotte, North Carolina, where I was born. Called Brooklyn because so many people have migrated there from Brooklyn.
Oh, okay.
So
Tell me about playing another real person this year, Sammy Davis Jr., which you did in L.A.
Man, that's my
A
guy.
very different kind of situation.
A whole other side. That's my guy. I've been a Sammy Davis Jr. fan at least since I was 8.
It was one of the hats, maybe.
One of the hats. No, 2 stories. Like one, I remember him being the caterpillar in Alice in Wonderland special.
yes. I
Right?
remember this.
That was the kicker. And then a substitute teacher gave me a cassette tape of him in 4th grade. He came in, we gave him the substitute teacher business the first day. And then second day, surprised he came back. The second day he brought me, he was like, I think you might like this guy. And gave me a cassette of Sammy Davis Jr.
Wow.
So he's always been there. He's
And
always,
you got to work on your dance side.
yeah.
You are a dancer.
Put him on. Dule
Dule Hill was
Dule Hill
was in
plays
it with
Nat
you.
King Cole.
And you were in After Midnight together,
Yes,
of course.
right. So we knew each other, so we had that rapport. And there's a moment where Nat King Cole goes into write myself a letter, and he's like writing a letter literally on the typewriter, and we were gonna simulate that sound with Sammy tap dancing, and Dule was like, I feel like I should tap dance too. So we're in the reading table read of it. Dule had torn his Achilles. He's in a boot, but he refused to not put his thing. Matches. Oh yeah, flammable. He's tapping in his boot, and then that's how it ended up becoming this raucous tap number between he and I, like going at it.
With the typewriter sound.
Typewriter sounds turns into a full out tap dance extravaganza. It's one of the best.
That sounds amazing.
Yeah.
Is there
Choreographed by
going to be
Jerry
another
Grimes.
life for this show?
We hope.
We hope.
Send. I don't know what you send to make that kind of stuff happen, but send it. Call your governor.
Call your
do something.
governor.
Do
Call your
something,
senator.
please. Call your senator, please. Make it happen.
Call your local official.
Something.
So did you relate to Sammy Davis Jr.'s story?
Oh, absolutely. He's. I forget what he went through at times. And he was such a pioneer in what he did, and he didn't care. His whole thing was about being a star, because he was told he wasn't allowed to be anything. So he was like, I'm going to make you love me even if you hate me. And I know exactly what that feels like. That kind of like, I'm nice, I'm a great guy, you just got to get to know me. So putting that into art, that's a lot of what the jam is. It's like, it's a way to, if you look at my TV credits, a lot of my TV credits have me either in a jumpsuit, about to be in a jumpsuit, or on my way out of a jumpsuit. And people think that might be me. So it's like, nah, let me show you something else. Let me show you me. Let me give you me. Here's Hollywood's version of me. Here's my version of me. So it's a similar thing.
All right. I'm going to get to your questions because I know you have a lot, but I've got a couple questions first.
Hit me.
Opening night of Tina. You got Tina Turner in the audience. You got Oprah Winfrey in the audience. Now, this is not your first time in a high-pressure situation. I mean, you performed for Barack Obama.
Yeah.
So I'm just wondering how you felt.
Did way different. President Queens. You know what I mean? Like royalty.
True.
No diss, Barack. I love you. But it's also we know the story.
Yeah.
We know the story, and we know it's her story, and we're gonna relive her story with her.
Yeah.
So there was a certain reverence that was happening, in the space, and I'm playing, and I'm the bad guy,
Right.
So it's
But there's some healing, I think, that happens in reliving that.
that's all I could pray for. Really, was just like, this is a healing moment. I'm hoping I don't send her back into 1966.
re-traumatize
and
her,
she,
yeah.
I want to do a great job, but I don't want to do that great of a job. But no, she was super sweet. She came on stage, and the audience didn't know that she was gonna come on stage. She comes on stage and just very gracious, gave me this big hug. She pretended to smack me around, which loosened everybody up, including myself. But gave me a big hug, said I did a great job, and that's really all I needed.
That's gorgeous. I love it.
Yeah.
I love it. All right, we're taking your questions. Caitlin,
Yes,
what are our
please.
viewers asking?
Yes. So Jaquay wants to know, what is another celebrities whose story you would like to star in a musical version of their life?
Oh man,
Come on.
starring.
Star.
Come on.
Take
I'm
it
gonna
on.
be honest. So I got asked this question earlier. Not this question, but it rounds to this. I think I want to do Jean-Michel Basquiat.
Okay.
I want to
Oh.
investigate.
That would be fascinating.
He's another one of those tortured souls that put it into the art.
Yeah.
And I think it's just one of those, like, I'm curious to investigate. Did he actually give everything he had to give, and there was really nothing left in the tank before the star burned out, or is he like one of those Forever 27, which is there was so much more to him, but we just we burned it
We'll
up.
never know.
We'll never know. But it would be good to just dig in there for a little bit.
Oh, I love that idea.
Yes. So Joe says that you guys have a lot of kind of choreographed violence to work out every night on stage. You have to do fight calls every night, and how does that work?
We have fight call every night, literally.
Every night.
I had a fight call rehearsal right before I came here, just to just square up, just to make sure we're good.
Keep everyone safe.
Keep everyone safe, because we go in, we do it, and and Keki and I come from the same area. We're both from Indian Trail, North Carolina, so we relate on
Keki
this
is
level.
the alternate
and Keki's the
to
alternate
Adrienne
singer.
Warren. Just wanted to let people know if they're listening.
Yes, right. And Adrian and I have known each other for 10 years. So there's this safety there that has to be there, but we have it. But it's also like, because we get so safe, we can actually get a lot closer to each other, which makes it that much more dangerous, So we just check every day. Check in. How you doing? How you feeling? You want to alter anything? Did I accidentally scratch you yesterday? You know, that kind of thing.
And then how do you share the love after you have to go through all of that?
Oh, big hugs at the end of
Yeah,
the show.
I would think you'd have to.
Huge
Big
curtain call. And also just to let the audience breathe, you know,
Yeah.
like,
Like we
hey
were just
guys,
playing.
we're just playing. We love each other. It's all good. You know, I didn't really hit her. Yeah.
Amazing. Okay, we'll do this last question. This is the one everybody wants to know. Mickey wants to know, what Tina Turner song can you not get out of your head?
See, I was about to say River Deep Mountain High. River Deep Mountain High won't go away, but neither will Proud Mary. They're both of them are just like,
Yeah.
but mainly because I had to learn the guitar chords for it.
By the way, you have some interesting wigs. I gotta say, you have some.
Oh,
You
the
have some
bob is
bangs.
my favorite.
Yeah.
The bangs. It's just.
It's very Sonny Bono.
Yeah, I love it. I do this as much as possible just to like clear it out.
Just get out of your eyes.
It
Yeah.
just feels good. I never get to do that.
All right. Thank you all. We don't have any more time. Go see Daniel J. Watts and Tina, the Tina Turner musical, and go to the Under the Radar Festival and see him in Joe's Pub, January 6th through the 20th.
Those are for you.
Ooh. Maybe you'll find a button that says The Jam, Only Child.
Hey.
Good stuff.
Hey.
Good stuff. Talented man. Good luck with the Ovation Award nomination.
Thank you. January. Call your governor.
Call your governor. Call your senator.
Something.
Caitlin, will you take us on out, please?
Yes. Thank you guys so much for tuning in today. We are live at 5 every single weekday here on Facebook. You can listen to us wherever you get your podcasts by searching for hashtag live at 5 and hitting that subscribe button. Guys, we're not going to be here next week. We are taking the week off. It's Thanksgiving, so give thanks. Watch all of our other videos that we have. Give love to all of your favorite Broadway performers, and we will see you in December.